Peace, peace. Sound check. Welcome to Kai and Y7. All right. Welcome to Kai and Y7. Here I talk about things to do with the community, some things to do with sexuality, and astros has to do with astronomy and some astrology. All right. Getting right into it. Appreciate y'all, and I hope all is well, y'all too. It is an open free chat room too. You're invited and encouraged to come and share your thoughts here. Um, So I was doing a stream, it won't be long, but I had a couple parts to it. The democratic disorderly dysfunctions. So it's been a while coming with just wanted to talk a bit on what I'm seeing with the Democratic Party and wondering how y'all feel about it. Um, there's different issues of it seems like purposely wanting to trigger people off of race and off of emotion. And that's not the right way to operate all the time. So I just want to get into some of that. I have some clips to show. Um, uh, Jasmine Crockett, who is, let me show that to our screen share. I want to show her bio, show some of the other congressmen, Representative Justin Pearson, who got behind and was pointing at the other guy. I got to pull his name too. And we have other Congressman Al Green. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm just seeing moments wanting to go viral to get attention to their agenda, not necessarily for everyone else. It seems to be more individualized to me. So I got some things I want to show on that. And then I wanted to talk about the moon. The moon has went through a phase of the weekend that has to do with solar eclipse, and it has some good things for us to transformation, renewal, things like that. Some sensual things too to tap into your sexuality with it a bit too. So there's some fun things too that I want to share, and I can go zodiac by zodiac on that too. So we'll get right into it now. Show some clips that I had, and we'll get right into it. How about that? Feel free to, it's open chat room, and it helps to live stream, y'all.
God damn, what was that? Is that a fly? Damn. That's a moth. God damn it. Fuck out of here. Really, yeah. What is it doing in here? All right, there we go. All right, so there it is.
All right, I want to get in, share the bio on her briefly and go through each one. I just want to talk about why I don't know what it is, but I just don't match her energy. And it took me a little while to figure out why, but it has to do with her just seeming to be a fraudulent type of person, not just for the Democrats, but for herself. So I want to talk about some of that right now. Let me a little bit of copyright free up in here too. So let's look for the background. Okay, so she started out. Let me go back. I had a different page, and now I'm like, where did I put it? She was elected as a member July 2020. Democratic Party. She's an African American politician, and she started out as being an attorney. So she does have a really great background, but it's just strange like how she talks, how she's supposed to just be speaking for everyone that is, you know, sort of, I would say like black women and things like that. And she doesn't. So it seems just very stereotypical and it just keeps getting worse. And it took like maybe last week for other people to seem like they're catching on to it finally because she called someone Hot Wheels because they're in a wheelchair. So I want to get into that and then just see what y'all think because it seems like some of these people were somewhat planted in the seats they're in, but they're motivated under the table with money too. I have a receipt on Miss Crockett getting money from overseas, getting money from an Indian politician and an Arab one as well. So I'm getting to that. In 2023 is when she got into becoming had become a congresswoman. She's out of the state of Texas. She also claims to be worth $9 million. That's not her. But there's nothing that indicates that she's anywhere near that amount of money. So I want to talk about that too. I'm going to show her expense form that you fill out and just show like the money that you've gotten in your assets and things like that. And there's no mention of these foreign monies that she supposedly has accumulated as well. I'm going to show her latest comments that she made, and she's always been just outlandish and things like that. So I wanted to talk about her, and let me go back to the thumbnail for a second too. As you see, oh my bad, you can't see it, but right now you can see in the thumbnail where I also have Pearson. He's standing up against gun violence, and I understand it's a sensitive thing. His brother offed himself. But why are you responding with violence and aggressive nature speaking towards other representatives if what you're about is decreasing violence? So, what I'm seeing is people that are Black, African American people on that Senate floor being motivated by others too, that's putting batteries in their back to prove the stereotypical Black person behavior. Correct me if you feel I'm wrong or if you give your opinion. It doesn't matter if it's not agreeing with mine, but I know I'm tired of it and it doesn't motivate me. If anything, it's disappointing me. Appreciate everyone that's coming out too or coming and going. Let me, I'll have to get back to the other part here. There we go. So then I just want to remove it. I don't want to delete it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Now I want to show too, well, actually, there was a couple things. Let me add in this other video that I saw. A couple things where some other people was chiming in on how they feel about Crockett too. So I'm gonna add some of that in just a second. Okay, it took some of my videos off when I left the studio. I'm gonna come right back into it now. Oh, it's not letting me add it? All right, hang on a second. I'll go to something else real quick before I get into more of that.
Came to appoint Jasmine Crockett as the unquestioned leader of your party. But thank God. And I think what she should do is go on TV twice as much as she is right now, maybe 3 times as much. Because every time she appears and makes one of these mistakes, says something radical, it only further divides her party from the rest of the other 80% of America who can't stand this. But the problem is there's an audience for it. I heard Jimmy Kimmel's audience cheering on Tesla vandalism. I hear the Daily Show audience cheering on attacks on Elon Musk. I hear the human rights audience cheering on an attack on a man in a wheelchair. And I realize this is what the left has become. An angry, mob of people who are cheering on attacks on a guy in a wheelchair and vandalism against people who bought a Tesla. It's pathetic. No lesson could ever be learned as long as you're doing these things in front of audiences who roar when you do it. When you have comedians who are broad messengers for the left making Scott, unfair jokes and people are roaring, when you have politicians being vulgar and saying in their point, what's the lesson?
We're trying.
What's the audience? It says a lot about the audience.
But
and big eyelashes, and that I'd love to see. But Miss Ghetto Fabulous, who wears these big wigs and big eyelashes and long fingernails and does not shy away from being extra black while on the hill. Well, let's take a listen to her now. And I want you to pay attention to something as she's talking and she's speaking.
Now, to be fair, too, I got Roland Martin. So I have people that are in favor of her. I'm going to show that too. What I came across was this, and we was talking about this recently. I know I hear on my channel. Individuals that just constantly wear wigs, things like that. So when she did, this was a little while back, but this was when she did an interview with Chris Hayes on, is it All In? Something like that. And her wig started flapping off her scalp. Like her wig wanted to be, part of the interview too. You're wearing the same wig, or you over wearing your wig is going to remove itself at some point. So it was like, that's what it was basically trying to do. And Tommy Sotomayor be hard on people. I don't see him anymore, but he got a podcast that's online. And I came across it just when I was finishing up some things that I just wanted to bring on here that are just irking me. And I'm just like, I was feeling like I was the only one feeling these kind of ways because I didn't see other people talking about it. But it seemed like it's taking too long for people to react to what she's saying and understand that some people are put in position as being detractors and not actually doing the business that they're paid to do. She makes $174,000 a year, even though she's claiming to be worth $9 million. And I'm going to show that in a minute too.
Talking, and she's speaking to Elon Musk, telling him, come on, boo, take a listen.
Time for us to tell it.
So you had an interesting story, which I wasn't going to bring up because my parents watched this show, but you were involved in a hearing with Elon Musk about condoms, right? Do you remember this whole?
It wasn't with Elon. Elon, if you're watching, come through, boo, because you haven't shown up to the Doge subcommittee yet.
Right, and you called him out at that subcommittee.
Yes.
Now, you guys may have been watching this and thinking, well, what's the big deal? She said, come through, boo. But I want you guys to do me a favor and take a look at something really, really quick. Look at her hair. God, dog. You just pull in real quick, zoom in a little bit, and you see, white men, y'all might want to turn y'all head. It's black men, we know how we got to deal with this. Maybe she had a long day. That glue just ain't gluing like it's supposed to. Ain't that they say the thing ain't thinging and all these whatever it is, that glue ain't gluing. You see the top of this woman's head coming off, looking like Oswald shot her from the 6th floor book depository. I'm thinking there's a sniper around and he done separated that scalp from, listen.
He is a mess. Let me show. I had something from Roland too, or hold on. Yeah, I'm just gonna show a little bit more on her, and then I was gonna move on to Pearson. I'm just gonna do them all one by one real quick. This is Roland Martin, and he's always in favor of Crockett. My thing is this: it doesn't really matter what party you're in; it matters your etiquette, and there's a certain level of etiquette that's usually held at least on the Senate floor. And we're being pushed, it seems like, to vandalize certain properties. I'm telling you right now, if I have a Tesla, I'm banging out with you if you ever touch my vehicle. I don't care how you feel about whoever. It's coming to a point where the Democrats took a L. They lost to the Republicans. And now it's all about viral moments to captivate people, just to listen to them, to be seen, and for other reasons that have nothing to do with the people they serve. If you think differently, let me know in the chat. We're going to Roro, y'all.
But I just want y'all to understand, the racists, they can't use the N-word. Well, then, not really, because Trump and Elon will give them approval. So what they want to do is, damn, we can't call you the N-word. We could call you ghetto. See, they got all these different euphemisms and different names what they want to call you. But since they want to say she's ghetto, well, let's just go ahead and see how she broke it down today in the Crockett Chronicles. Go ahead, roll the stinger, the Crockett Chronicles stinger. All right,
so got a whole Crockett.
So they've been demanding the Congresswoman apologize. She like, nah, that ain't happening. And she lit that ass up today and had some choice words for Fox News. And damn, if I had some tea, I'm here for it.
It should not be surprising that the president is doing everything possible to make it more difficult for the media to hold him accountable and for the public to be informed about his reckless and illegal behavior. Yet here we are. The Republicans have actually organized this goofy hearing to try to convince the American people that PBS and NPR are, quote, domestic terrorists or domestic threats. My apologies. Not the.
I didn't even know they were getting up and moving, leaving out. I just saw that just right now. That's interesting. All right. Well, that's rude. I guess everyone's just being rude to each other. See, but that's part of my point. Like, where is the etiquette and when are you going to bring it back? It's just not making sense. Also, the whole like ghetto-ish girl mentality that she shows. She went to all girls high school and was elementary school as well. I looked it up. She hides the information. She only tells gives a little information on where she went to high school, but it's very brief. And it just seems like that's not the way she was raised and the way she talks to try to resonate with certain people in certain communities. It's not working for me. It's not working at all. It's something I feel we need to see through. What other part I said I was going to say about her? Dang, it'll come to me. Let me go on to another thing too, where she was questioned about, here it is too, with the difference in the way she speaks now and the way she's been speaking. It's just this whole weird thing going on.
We wouldn't, but when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard. I didn't anticipate that. If anyone knows anything about the Congresswoman, they know. We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do, for sure. We got some cool shirts. The congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that. We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she's holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat. And
with Mexico, yet we in love with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up, because I'm ready to get on with.
I feel a lot of this from the start has just been more of a way to try to lure certain people in, basically to try to just be something that she must believe it as well, is just a stereotypical way to reach out to other Black people or to be the new Democratic Party or the way it swings. You can talk how you wish, but it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're really working for the community. You're working for yourselves. This was just an old tweet where she just was going back and forth with another person that has a seat in was that Jeff Leach, representative of Texas. I also wanted to show when she was interviewed and she was talking about how strong the Republican Party is and everything. She was asked, well, why does she feel that? Why does she think then that it's so highly in favor of Republicans? And she says she feels it's because of underfunding. Roland mentions that she's not able to be called the N-word, so she's called ghetto trash. I don't feel that this woman is trash, but the way she acts and carries on is definitely ghetto. I want to move on to we have Justin Pearson. Give me a second with his latest where he what happened with him. One second. Sorry about that. I'm working on the audio. Thanks for sharing your thoughts too, regardless of whether we agree on things or not. It is an open chat room, and of course, freedom of speech. Let me hang on a second. Hold on a second. All right, so this is with Roland Martin. He's riding with Pearson, saying, "Hey, this is how it's going down, blah blah blah." So I want to make sure y'all can hear it, and I want to give my commentary on it.
Where they went at it because this one Republican was criticizing Justin for not being at the Capitol when he was mourning the death of his brother, who took his own life. And things got a little heated on the floor. Justin, talk your shit.
We need to do something about the gun violence epidemic, and now is the time to do it. And I will continue to advocate for that because I believe in it. Personally, from our family's own experience to the experiences of too many people in our district and in our community who are suffering from the lack of good laws and good regulation. You don't have to throw out responsible gun ownership in behalf of the Second Amendment.
I know every member in this committee's been here this year working during committee, during session, voting on bills.
Yes, sir.
And I know you may have some things going on, but you have not. So I don't think it's fair for you to come in front of this committee and lecture us on hard work and convictions. We've been here working.
Thank you, Chair Farmer, for your comments. They incense me. They make me very, very angry, not just because of the lack of regard, but the disrespect and the same denigrating tone that you used on the State House floor when the vote to expel me happened. It's disrespectful. It's unbecoming, and it's beneath the standard of a person who's supposed to represent in the Tennessee House of Representatives. It is a pathetic excuse for you to not answer the question of why we are doing nothing about the gun violence epidemic than to personally attack me. My brother, Temperance Darnell Pearson, one of the loves of my life, passed away from gun suicide on December 1st of 2024. Shattered my family like gun violence has shattered so many families. Shattered my nephew's lives, my mother, my father, my other brothers who are remaining. I buried my brother. I planned for his entire funeral. My fiance made his obituary. I made sure that he was taken care of, even in death. That's what I've been doing. But also, not just that, I went to all of my nephew's schools. I met with their principals and their teachers to ensure that they are okay. I made sure that they had grief counseling and that they're seeing a psychiatrist. That's what I've been doing. And while you're talking about hard work, you need to realize that our job is not just in this state house with these marble floors. Our jobs are on the streets and in the communities that we serve. And so while you've been here passing bills that have been hurting transgender children, while you've been here passing bills that have been hurting the poor, hurting the marginalized, hurting the disenfranchised, while you've been here passing bills that have not ended poverty, while you've been here passing bills that have not helped people who need Medicaid expansion, while you've been here doing the hard work of making sure that our state is not the state that it can be because you have decided.
Representative Pearson.
I've been in my community, meeting with seniors, meeting with young people. That's what I've been doing. Hard work doesn't just happen with this legislation. It happens in our communities.
Representative Pearson.
While you've been here doing that, I've been in my community. And it's taking your grief and your pain and your heartache and it's standing in front of people who you know may not like you, standing in front of people who you know will disrespect you. You need to pass better laws, better legislation, and fight for a state where everybody is able to live more freely from the pain of gun violence that me and my family are experiencing. That's what you need to think about, Chairman Paul. And if you can't think that, learn to shut up. Learn to shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Representative Pearson, it seems that it's very common in your party when you disagree with a comment. And I was not disrespectful to you. I have a family. I've made sacrifices every year.
Representative Pearson, I know this is a very difficult time for you to be back up here. I'm sorry for all the things that you've experienced. You've been a great uncle. You've done the things that you were supposed to do to help your family. If I was in the same situation you were in, I would be doing the same thing. I understand that, okay? I know tensions are high.
Disrespect is high, Chairman.
We are now voting to send House Bill 1392 on to full judiciary.
Mr. Chairman, you have 2 ayes, 7 nays.
The noes prevail. House Bill 1392 fails.
No. Hey, Representative Pearson, no, sir. No, sir. No.
Don't touch him.
Now that's where yeah, thanks for sharing your thoughts too. So for a limited time too, I do have the link in the chat. You can feel free to join too. So we're always going to get different views. There's people that are against Kamala, for Kamala. It's not just about that, but the reality of it is there is a certain mentality that that woman is bringing. Pearson as well. I'm not saying he's ghetto, but what I'm saying is he's being overly aggressive on the Senate floor. And you can't deny that. And what you're doing is you're being people of certain communities that are using your emotion to address the issues on the agenda. You don't get to do that. And you probably don't know me very well. I'm one that's always down for my people more than most. Okay, so I could put it like that as well. But I'm one too that's not going to be blinded. And I'm being disappointed by what I'm seeing because it's a display of battery operated individuals. This is no shade. It has nothing to do with the suicide of his brother, but you can't blame the gun. And you're talking about gun violence. This is really a mental health issue. He made a choice to end his life. That's hurtful. You don't get to come on the Senate floor and bring those emotions and hurt and take it out on other folks. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing fear mongering at its height through the Roland Martin show, through Jasmine Crockett, through some others. And those that like to come in my chat room and you want to give me pushback on it, where are y'all at defending them when they're out in the community and things like that? Oh, right, they're not. They're not out in the community. This is what I look for. People that don't just sit behind a desk and collect checks. Now we got people that are want to outsass one another and they want to get credit, viral moments off of being extra sassy. Oh, I'm extra aggressive. What happens after that, people? They get interviews, right? Congressman Al Green wouldn't have been on the Breakfast Club. He got on the Breakfast Club because he got kicked out of the Senate meeting. people felt bad, felt sorry for him. I'm like, I didn't feel that way because he wants to make a point. I get why they're doing what they're doing, but they're going about it the wrong way. So for you to agree with that, or even some of y'all in the chat room, you want to agree with what they're doing and how they're carrying on, what is it bringing? What is it bringing politically? It's bringing nothing but chaos and nonsense, and you know it. That's all it seems to be bringing. And I know it's easy to just sit back and say things because you're upset or whatever, but when you want to have a debate with someone or even talk about it, that's when y'all shy away. That's when y'all leave and get scared.
And it's taking your grief and your pain and your heartache and it's standing in front of people who you know may not like you.
So, these are moments to me that have been taken out of context. If you want to end violence, you don't treat it with violence. You want to end gun violence, but you're intimidating someone by running behind them and pointing in their face, and you behind another man's back. If a woman comes behind me on my back, I'm probably going to backslap her, to be honest. All right. So it's just wrong. It's really wrong. And I can't okay it. I can't okay it because I'm African American. I can't okay it because I understand the struggle. That has nothing to do with certain ways of etiquette. When you're on this floor, you get paid to not only do the dang on thing, but to do it cordially. So for y'all that agree with it, you Democrats are becoming the violent ones. And I'm just trying to figure out why and when y'all going to calm down. Democracy at its finest is violence. That's what y'all are encouraging. That's what y'all been encouraging. Definitely Uncle Roro, he with the whole thing. Like he said, he with it. He with the tea. He with the tea. He's like, bring it. He loves it. He loves it. He's not on camera anymore. I mean, he's on camera. He's not on like the shows with the media on television. So what he's doing is he's living out his fantasies through these new politicians. That's what I'm seeing going on. You can't just be so dumbed out just wanting to be a Democrat or Republican or independent or whatever you are, to not be able to sit at the table and have conversations over etiquette, behavior, things like that, and what we really morally need to see get done. You can't tell me that you're against gun violence and then you go and be violent. You can't tell me that you're blaming guns on suicide. You have to blame that on somebody not getting a proper mental health. That's a mental health problem, not a gun. Guns don't jump up and shoot us. Guns don't see us getting depressed and saying, you know what, I've been watching you get depressed for some time now. I'm going to go ahead and put an idea out there. What I'm going to do is spit some bullets at you. I may spit one at you. We're doing it to each other. The people that are losing control are doing it. And depression's at an all-time high. He should have been pushing for mental health. Gun violence, when you turn the gun on yourself, I'm just trying to have an honest conversation with y'all. But I understand that you guys like stuff sugar-coated. I'm not with the diabetic stuff. I'm not. Sorry. Not here. I'm going to give you the truth through death and through life. You have to. Y'all have to stop going off emotion. Black people, stop it. Whatever you address your little selves as, you know where you come from. Stop it. Other folks too, encouraging it. They need to stop it too. What other race of any of the other cultures do you see out here neck rolling? And I know that's more sassiness in our culture, but who do you see really just doing backflip, doing all kind of stuff for that? Like, come on, y'all. What's going on here? It's like it's turned into a circus ever since Kamala lost the race. It's a circus now ever since Kamala lost the race. What are y'all talking
was
about?
Not having it. Tennessee Holler dropped this.
This is what y'all want. This is what y'all been wanting, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's not right. The other one was Al Green, Congressman Al Green, and we know about that one. I'll play a quick short on that as a reminder. I did a short on him in my on my channel. I'm gonna play that one. Where is it? Okay. All right, and then I'll be right in here with it. Let me go on to the YouTube page and I can get it up. And this isn't just a political thing. And I think that's why we're not getting ahead and we're not really solving problems amongst each other well, because all we do is think all we do is kind of think in ways of our parties. I'm not going to pick a party no more. If that's the only way we can have a conversation, I mean, a bad conversation. I want to be able to have a conversation without it just being like, so, no, I got to be on this side. I got to be on that side. Before when Trump first came out, I barely agreed with him. But I'm in agreement with some of what he does these days. And I can I can back up everything I said. People that oppose me, you can't back up what you're saying. All I ask you to do is back it up. That's it. Pardon the Streamlabs mod thing. I gotta do something about that. But I don't think I'm gonna this app. Please refrain from posting links. You put a link in there? What are they talking about? Please refrain from posting. You must have put a link in there. Yeah, I might have did block that out. My bad. How you doing, Mr. Crowder? I ain't seen you in a minute. Feelings are the new norm. Right. But you know what? I can understand it, but you got to know when to leave the feelings out there, because that's not what we pay them to do, right? That's not what we do. That's not what we go to school for. That's not what we go to the community for and stuff like that. We have to go off of actual things so that there we go. Okay, I'm kind of maneuvering this too. That's what we have to go off of. It's not going to work. And it's disgusting to me because honestly, people was coming in here and I think some of them was, Black people, and I get it. You're like, oh, well, why you got to say that? Because it's the truth. We work hard to get where we at. I worked hard to get where I was at. I worked in city government. We had to take tests. We had to do things. And it was a lot of times it was about etiquette too. It's what you bring and it's your aura with it. I'm not going to sit here and think what they're doing is cute. There's nothing cute about it. There's nothing inspiring me about it. There's some things that make me put a fist in the air. None of this does. What are you talking about? Your brother killed himself and you're mad at everybody else? You're mad at the guns. You're mad at gun violence when his hand was at the end of the trigger. Somebody help me. Somebody help him.
Reads almost completely red for.
You know what I'm saying?
This ain't
to 525.
Okay, my bad. Ugh. All right.
To 525.
This is a Pocahontas thing. This don't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. Here you go, my bad. Oh my gosh. It's my man, it's not letting it come up. I put it. Okay. It's not properly coming up. Oh, Congressman gets up. Oh, this is it. My bad. This was what happened with Congressman Al
On a map
Green.
that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history,
Mr. President.
a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms.
Oh my gosh!
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in.
All right. Sorry about this audio stuff. I don't know what's going on with that. Um, so that's what was going on with Al Green. Now, I've always felt from the beginning that he knew he was going to be removed, but that was the purpose. He wanted to bring attention to what he was talking about or what he had going, with the Medicare, Medicaid cuts and things like that. And some cuts they were expecting and swearing that Trump was going to do, and he did not. So there's some things that we can't just go online about. And I know Trump has lied. I've seen it. I've just haven't spoken on much politics on my channel. I usually talk about other things and stuff. But some things do hit home with me because it's people of the community, or at least supposed to be representing the community, and they're not doing it right. So I had something to say about it. Um, so that's it for that part of it. And wait, what is this? Oh yeah, and they're like, don't come after my family. How do they come after your family? Just craziness. A lot of it's just way I see it is just a lot of craziness, fraudulentness. It's like, are these folks planted here? What is this really all about? We got advertisement, even Etsy. Other folks are making money off her quotes. Come through, boo. And contrary to which I believe, the term boo comes from jigaboo, which many years ago was jigaboo, and it was a negative, derogatory word towards Black folks. So I know my history. How about you? I know a lot about my history because I want an understanding of what's going on now. How about you? Boo boo. That's why I don't even use that term. But so many others do. But I know the truth behind the term boo. Okay. Um, yeah, that's just some stuff, man. But I wanted to also just get into some of the things that's going on too, and ways that things have an effect on us, and it has to do with astronomy. Um, I'm a amateur astronomer myself, somebody that like independently studies things that have to do with astronomy and things like that. So I want to talk about that, and I'll just close on out. I realized I was on there for that long too. I do appreciate everyone that did come through and share your thoughts too, whichever they are. I just ask people to just be respectful about it. Then that shows that we know how to be adults and have a conversation, because we can't just think everyone on these Senate floors, Congress, this person, that person. They're not going to do everything on either party. A lot of it comes from us too, the people, and some of it can come from just having good conversation. All right. So again, my handle is always Kai and Y 007. And my channel is Kai and Y7. Appreciate y'all coming through. Those that may have known, on last Saturday, from March 29th going into the 30th, we had a partial solar eclipse. And some of what goes on with the eclipse has an effect on people, it's believed. Some people say it's not really proven, but some things in science show it. But a lot of it is through some is religious belief, some is cultural. And I think a lot of it does have some proof to it, and there's reasons behind it too. So I want to get into some of that for astronomy part. Um, hmm. I said I can't be no more well together than I'm already am. What's going on here? All right. Oh, and I understand it too, y'all. Some people don't like the truth, but if you don't like the truth, you're not. You don't like yourself, because I feel like it doesn't change it by lying or by not wanting to hear someone speak the truth. It's just going to be on you, because at some point you're going to come back to me. If you don't stick around, you'll be back. All right, so we're talking about the solar eclipse. They're linked to psychological changes, sometimes anxiety, restlessness, and mood swings. So I want to talk about some things, some ways that you can maintain some of your emotional balances. It's always good to have balance. There's a lot going on around us, well, not just politically, like what I'm speaking on, probably going on in your own life. A lot of us going through changes with one another. And it's like we're having a renewal, a real transformation, not just around the moon, but there's so much going on. And the earth is actually spinning at a slightly quicker pace, which I mentioned 2 years ago. Now it's even faster. Excuse me, it slowed up a little bit. It got real fast, slowed up, got faster a little bit. And it's not the first time the earth has done these shifts, but this is at a quicker speed. So what I like to do is I look at things that going on with astronomy too and see how it relates to us on our planet here. Also, there's some sensual things, some things that have to do with, intimacy and our sexuality too, that can evolve around this eclipse as well. That I wanted to touch on. But maintaining emotional balance, it's good to have some relaxation techniques. A lot of people on social media, a lot things like that. You got to know when to turn it off, even if it's just for a little while. When you turn it off, relax your eyes, close your eyes sometime, and just breathe. Do some slow breathing too. It might seem like small things, but it makes a change in your body's physiology. It does. It makes a change in your body. Inhaling and holding it for a while and exhaling. We almost do it when we're upset, quicker, right? But then it's a little slower when we're concentrating on it, and it makes a difference. That's what helps too with meditation. And these things can work for everyone, really. I feel. What's going on with my screen up there? Yeah. So, all right, come on, screen. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, spend time during the day in natural light. Now the weather is starting to change again, but when you're coming out of when it's mostly colder, or you're in the house more because of the seasons, you want to come outside and get some more of that natural light. Once the natural light hits your skin, it makes a difference too. Sometimes I have to remind myself to slow down a bit and just enjoy the walk, just enjoy the outdoors. Um, Interesting beliefs too. Some people feel that women should stay in during the eclipse from Saturday night or something like that. Fasting is good during the eclipse. But I think it's a good time for creativity, things like that. Like I said, and the Native Americans look at it as renewal and change. Um, Prayer, people do prayer, chants, things like that to ward off negative energy. And some bathe right after the eclipse. Here I am with some oil coming on my legs. So, skin, your feelings, and just cleansing yourself and being renewed, having more going on and looking forward to things. I don't look at things and shifts as something bad ever. If it's something that could be quite like negative, always want to see, well, how can I overcome that and what would I come and tell people to do? So that's why I want to talk about just techniques where if you're feeling more anxious these days or things like that, sometimes it does have to do with what's going on in the skies. So kind of good to talk about some of that too. Now, some things that could help spice up your sex life, things like that, while we're still in like the aura of the eclipse corridor. Um, we can go by horoscope. With Aries, Aries always seems to be exploring type, adventurous with it, willing to take on new challenges, things like that. So you could be all about control too. But try something different these days too and see how that goes. Um, Letting your partner maybe take over a bit at times, something like that. Switch up the roles. And a lot of what I say is for single people and it could be for married couples as well. Taurus. So with the Taurus, may want to dive deeper into your sensual side. And if you're already there, go deeper. Got some adventurousness in themselves as well. For the Geminis, it's a good time too. It's a good time for it. Looks like there's no one they're saying to stay, no one really feeling to stay out of love. But with Geminis too, it could be a good time too to tap into some areas that you may have of the love, the type of loving energy that you may have. What's my other? I had a Okay, I had to take everything back down, so I'm gonna bring it back up. In just a second. Where's my oh. Let me remove that from the screen. How do I remove that from the screen? Yeah, so again, this has to do with we're in the midst of the partial solar eclipse that we just experienced. And wanted to talk about some of the effects that it has on us. When you know your zodiac too, you can go by zodiac. Some people don't. You can just go by astronomy. But a lot of them do, a lot of things that go on do tend to have links to each other, you know? So it's like, why not just get a little insight on it and, you know, in positive ways, like what can it do for me? Like, what does it mean? You know, things like that. So, all right, I want to remove this. I'm trying to figure out how to get this off. Oh, here it is. I have to scroll down. So I've been used to some of this new software setup. Goodness. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, right. So I had some other stuff written down. And we just had the blood moon too, a couple of weeks ago. So a lot of this to me, some people say, oh, stay away, oh, be careful, it's bad, it's bad. It's like, no, I don't look at it as having negative effects. Like I really some things too are like how you perceive them, you know, can make a difference too in how it comes into your life, how you perceive them, how you let it motivate you, how you move about it, you know, can have an effect on you too. Our minds are a mighty thing. Speaking of minds, I've been looking into things where there's ways that things can possibly have mind control. Things like that. I just want to talk with y'all about some things that have to do with that too, that you may find interesting, has to do with mind control. And just amazing what the mind can do. And I want us to tap into that too, because not only will it empower us as individuals, it could also help keep certain energies away. We have to watch who we're around. Y'all don't understand. I don't care who it is. If the energy is off, they have to go. All right. Or there's a separation. There's something that you have to feel out. Also, if you're like me and you have a hard time saying no and sometimes stand up for yourself in situations for whatever reason, there's other ways to go about it too. Invite them to take part in things you're interested. If they so much, you know, oh, I just want to be, yeah. And it's not about them, because a lot of people are all about them. Test them on it. See if they'll work on a project with you. See if they do, they'll probably be going so fast. And that's what I mean. You don't need all that selfishness up in there. So yeah, so in closing too, I'm going to do some more of the astrology and we'll close on out. Cancers are very heartfelt people. They seem to be very caring too. The Cancer zodiac. With cancers, it's suggested to go ahead and explore your desires, and sometimes you can be keeping them hidden. They say that with Scorpios too. We tend to do that. But we're so interested in desires, but we're not so comfortable with sharing ours. So we're saying go ahead and share some, like explore some of those desires too, you know. Leos like to take the lead a lot. During the eclipse, there's a change. When you think of change, try something new, maybe switch it up. Maybe let your partner or partners take the lead. Switch it up a bit, whether it's open relationship or close. With Virgos, uh, what does I say about them? Um, hmm. It may be a challenge for Virgos to let go a little bit, to let go. And sometimes, like I said, it's time for just a little change. And even if the change is so comfortable, it can still be fun. Get a little comfortable trying something a little new. You may not be big on the unexpected, Virgo, but why don't you try some unexpected things and see how it goes? Libra. Libras like to balance out their scales. Like Libra, when you think of Libras, they have that scale, right? So with the scale, they want to find balance too. want to find balance, and they want to weigh things out. So they want to weigh the person out that they're intimate with. They want to weigh out the partnership. At times they want to weigh out the pleasure. So with that, again, it's telling everyone try something new. What's something you want to explore, even if it tips your Libra scale a bit? What's something you may want to explore? Why not have at it? And it looks like my audio is good too. I want to just check that. Okay, y'all been real quiet on the votes. All right. I put a question in the chat. Is the Democratic Party doing well with its constituents? I can't even see the answer. Okay, well, all right. I appreciate it. I'll get back to it though before I close. I always want to check on the poll. So I just got done with the Libra. So Scorpio, it says Scorpio is always up for an interherent of desires. So Scorpios kind of suppress some of their desires a lot of the time, even though it's about kink and sometimes power play, darkness, things like that sometimes. But maybe be challenging with being more open and communicative, and do that clearly, more clearly than what Scorpios may be used to doing. So be more clear about your passion and about what you're looking for with some sensuality. With Sagittarius, at times there's been could be a hunger for some new experiences too. And these times are a great time for that now. Take some new challenges in your love life and go ahead and satisfy some of that adventurous spirit of yours, Sagittarius. Capricorns. Now I know with Capricorns, they're known to be more with change up the visuals here some too. With Capricorns, they're more too likely to be wanting to have things scheduled out. They really want to know what's going on and when, things like that. So being unpredictable and things like that aren't really their thing. But it's time to make pleasure your business. It's saying you like to take care of business a lot. Now could be the time that maybe tap into more of your pleasure. Pencil that in. Schedule that in some more these days. Aquarius, we got Aquarius and Pisces. Those are our last in the zodiac of all 12. So with Aquarius, they seem to want to kind of be edgy, maybe want to push the rules a bit, things like that. So it could be a good time for that too. To go ahead and maybe even do that even more, because some of what it's saying to do, some of that is in some of the ways of Aquarius anyway already. Pisces. It's saying to let your emotions guide you. Let that guide you and be playful with it. Have fun, be the playful Pisces. Like you role play, any of those things. You're known to be one to live in their fantasies. So why not use this time now to push into getting into your fantasies even more, particularly these days. So that's what we have for that. And that is what has to do with the partial eclipse, whether it's a full solar eclipse, partial, it's a transfer of the moon. So you may ask, okay, well, how does that really change us? The moon changes temperatures. Temperatures are different parts of the world. So some of this too could even be more specific to where you live. So if you have questions on things, you can always ask me. My email is always available in my about section, which is KIYNY0077@gmail.com. I can put that on the banner too. And if you have questions, or you say I'm over here in this part of the world, or if you just have a question of a particular part of the world or something, I can help with help you answer a question or questions that you have. Just let me know. So yeah, so there we go with that. But it's just telling all of us, tap in and be renewed, transfer, transform, get used to not being uncomfortable about something, especially when it has to do with your intimacy with your partner or partners. Try something a little different, something new, and see how you do. All right. So that was what I had to say on that. We had some things that I shared. What's this one right here? Okay, yeah. So again, yep, this is Kaiwa 7, and that was some of the things that have to do with astronomy, and then it's being tied in with astrology. So I hope you understand that. And again, if you have questions, just feel free to share them while we're live. Catch the replay, leave a comment, do something. Especially if you come through and you listen for a while, you enjoy some of what you hear. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. Hit the like button. There's things that are just quick and simple and easy to do, and it helps if you see I do that work. You know, why not? Nothing lazy about me. So there's little things that y'all could do to show y'all appreciate it and that y'all even are here. And that's appreciated to me always. All right. What I want to do is make this just a smaller, but okay. All right, y'all. So again, this is Kai and Y 7. I hope everyone is doing good. And that was my take. And thanks for sharing your thoughts. Some of y'all agree with me. Some of y'all came at me. I didn't deal with the poll. I don't know. Y'all don't really interact much. I don't do it very well. Maybe sometimes people are just more into it when like YouTube decides to dump a lot of people in, but I think that's kind of whack, you know. But I know who does support and who don't, so it's all good because when it really matters, it'll show too. All right. So that was it. I just wanted to talk on some of the things that the Democrats were doing. I think it's very disorderly and dysfunctional, and we need to get some work done. There's work to be done, and I don't know how they're doing it. What they're doing. And for a limited time too, the link was dropped for anyone who wants to chime in and have something to say, which I didn't have nothing to say. Always talk in the chat and run. It's all good though. So that's that. Pearson and Green. And I talked about the moon and what it has to do with us. I broke it down by each individual zodiac sign, briefly gave you a little astrology on it, and some helpful hints during these times that we are going through eclipse, and then so much going on in astronomy. So there's that. So just look up, not look up, look into enjoying these times. That's pretty much what I had. And then we'll see what's coming up politically. It looks like Elon Musk is now looking into how these Democrats are getting this generational wealth all of a sudden in the recent years. They're looking into that because they don't think things are adding up. So we just constantly have a lot going on politically too, and it's interesting to me. For me, it's not really about who I back, because honestly, I've had a difficult time with most politicians. I have my own mindset. I just can agree and not agree with certain ones. And I don't let a party and I don't let anything of my skin color or other things determine what I know and feel to my core is right. And we all have something in the core of ourselves, unless you're some soulless MFers out there. You have to know that you have to dig inside, because sometimes they're just giving us plants. Unless you a plant with fruit that grows, food, vegetables, or a house plant, or an outside plant, don't plant nobody in front of me, because I'm going to smell the BS all over them. So just stop it. It's misuse of power, and I'm done with it. People like us, we would be pushing agendas more than the other folks, with or without the sass. So that's just how I feel about it. I just don't agree with this crap. Oh, I did tell y'all though that I had receipts too on Crockett. Let me grab that before I go. Because what they were doing is looking into her funds, things like that all politicians have to do, like show taxes, different things like that. So there was just things that I came across, and I just thought it was like, contradicts things that we're seeing and being told. And Crockett, Pearson, they have strong voices, but I just think they're misleading us with misconduct. Crockett went to school. She's educated, well-educated woman, all that. She gets those credits for that. But, I give credit where it's due, not where it's not. So, let me see. She's worth, hold on, yeah, my bad. This was yesterday. Okay. Because she's supposed to be worth $9 billion. So we're gonna fact check real quick. So I have to always back up what I say. I don't know about y'all, who y'all be listening to. So let's fact check. LeadStories.com. Does Jasmine Crockett, a U.S. Congresswoman from Texas, have a net worth of $9 million and own properties worth $5 million? Now, her salary is $174,000 a year. I mentioned that already. Claims to have a $1.5 million lakefront cabin in Galveston, Texas. Sorry if I pronounced something wrong. 1.5 million loft in Austin, Texas, and a 2 million townhouse. Oh, in Dallas. The loft is in Austin. She also has a beautiful home too, which I'll show. I have a picture of that. Where it is exactly, they won't tell us. So we have all this, right? And that's a good amount of money. That's some good assets, but that's still not, you're not worth almost $10 million. So that's what this is showing. Now I'm going to show the receipt that, wait, I think if I click on this, where did I get it from? Yeah. Oh wait, hold on a minute, not that one. Huh? All right, I'll find it. I'll get to that in a quick second. What I have here is her expenses. Sometimes it's not easy to pull up files. You got what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, I got so much files in here. I'm gonna get it though. Because a lot of stuff is just so super contradicting. It's like, oh my goodness. And I'm not just pulling certain people to go back and forth. I was letting everybody have they say. So hang on a second. What is going on? Oh. Why? All right, so let's go over here then. Let's damn, my bad. I was in the way too. I'd be having the other thumbnail open. Damn, my bad. Okay. Because I was looking up information too on my own. No. All right, y'all. I don't want my drop down being all over the place either. Okay, that's all right. Damn. All right, well, I'll find it. I can add it up another time. So I don't want to hold this up too long. So I'm done with my live at this point. Yeah, but she, Jasmine Crockett raised by a father that's a reverend. Mother was a postal worker. Like we have all this information, and she comes from all girl private schools and everything. And then she just on here like, yeah, girl, child. It's just all like an act. The F-bomb she throws, it just doesn't make any sense. And she's finally gotten called out on it somewhat, but I think it's got to be more to come. It's not just something I think. I know it's got to be more to come. You can show her home at least. So she has a $1.5 million home. It's going to be in Dallas, Texas. Who knows where it is? But there's that and the information there. But I know those records are not showing anything like that amount of money, like at all. And not only that, it shows some foreign money that was coming in. So I'm wondering too, because she attacks Musk a lot, and Musk is looking into people's monies and how they're getting this money and stuff too. She could be coming up, y'all. She could really be coming up. Yeah. What is the? All right, I'm gonna pause that too. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna what I can do, I can come back and edit my live. I'm gonna have to cut it down some. It's just I don't know why it sounds so personal. I'm taking so long to find it. So it was right there. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is oof. All right, our assets are in stock investments too. Yes, that could bring more money, but that's not. I don't believe I can't find this damn thing. Go to bookmarks. Bookmark tabs. All right. What else would y'all title? I just had it with these folks. I really have. I don't even want to play nothing they were saying. It's just a pain in my ass a little bit. So I would be like, oh, I'll just show something. Yes, it's crazy. I don't know why it won't let me pull up this other video either, which give me a hard time, y'all. Sorry. Video. Okay. All right. Difficulties too. All right. All right. Wow, Houston, Texas, we got more problems. All right, let me get this receipt up, and then I can peace out. I just want to show my piece. Oh shoot! All right, so this right here is Honorable Jasmine Crockett's financial disclosure report 3, and it's filed for 2024. So it's assumed around the same time this year she will have a new one put out, right? So she's showing her assets right here, valued assets all between 1,000 and 15,000. Moderna, which is a known pharmaceutical company, and no question to why she was pushing for the vaccine. She said, "Well, can people get vaccinated now?" Da, 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 da. And I showed y'all some of the back and forth she had on Twitter. Was it Twitter? Oh, she's a TikTok type of person or something like that. Whatever. All right. So as far as liabilities, that's my knowledge right here. This is what she still owes amount of liability. So you owe on student loans, Miss Crockett. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you worth 9 million. She has the Crockett Law firm. Sorry if this is a little glitchy. Things are overheating a little bit right now, and then I'm piecing out. Israel. So we got American Israel Education Foundation. They did lodging for her, food and family. So you see the check marks. So these are showing where she had trips, and then these are the details on the trip she took. So the itinerary where she visited. But these are linked to who she received monies from. So a lot of this stuff is going to be coming out. So I'm bringing it up now. Qatar Business Council. That might be all right. That was US. We have Indian government trip. They talk about how lavish her trips are. It's similar to what we heard with Mayor Eric Adams, how he was offered benefits and stuff. I don't see a problem with some of it, but the policy is against this once you become a political official. You can't just be taking money because that's how bribery comes into play and other things, which are money laundering cells. So we got United Arab government. These are places that they're saying had to do with the monies that she's received, but it's not being reported anywhere. So this is the actual document here, and then she digitally signed this. Like I said, this was August and the 13th, 2024. So I just had to show that. And again, her salary is $174,000 a year. They're showing her assets, but even with her assets, which are some of the properties that she owns, she's not worth as much as what she's saying. So to me, I'm just saying in closing too, there seems like there's just a lot of lies being told. It's not much of the truth going on, and we seek the truth. And y'all should feel we deserve the truth. We absolutely do. Thanks, y'all. That's all for me. What I was looking forward to doing possibly, and if y'all interested, maybe popping up. I want to pop up on some weekends and just do some music, try to get some little mood vibe, set things going. Possibly doing podcasts on Sundays. We'll see how that goes because I do still like certain days of the week trying to see and you know get some conversation going, with y'all too. Just doing a little different way so we can just have a nice vibe over here. And I welcome all new people and those returning. I appreciate y'all as always. And y'all take care. Hope everything is well with y'all. All right. Thanks, Kai and Y7. I'm out. Peace. Just wanted to say too, apologies on people's chats were deleted. I'm seeing more of them now. It was something to do with the stream bot. I had it at minimum security, but they're still deleting people's chats, which actually isn't, it doesn't work well for the algorithm at all. So I don't know what they're doing. Well, it's going to be removed soon, this whole thing. Anyway, so open chat room here as always. Thanks for coming through, y'all. I really appreciate it, and especially when you participate.